This week, the CDC released its annual birth report, and the teen birth rate fell another 7% in 2015. That means it's dropped 81% since 1991, from 61.8 births per 1,000 girls aged 15 to 19 down to 11.7. That is a big shift. Over time, more teenagers have had access to real information, contraception, and more say over whether and when they get pregnant. And when those options are there, the numbers drop. So you'd think that fewer pregnant teenagers would be good news. Except Fox News called it alarming. Stepford wife Katie Miller called it a crisis, blamed delayed motherhood and career-focused women, and called birth control poison. Which is interesting because a lot of these same people spent years pushing abstinence-only education and swearing they wanted to reduce teen pregnancy. Well, it's reduced. And now they're mad because abstinence-only education doesn't work. And we know that, and so do they. You tell teenagers don't do it, well, they're still going to do it, just without protection or a plan. And you can see that in the data. States like Mississippi and Arkansas keep coming up with the highest teen birth rates. States with a higher emphasis on abstinence-only education, less access to contraception, and higher poverty. So now ask yourself what kind of outcomes those conditions create. What actually moved the numbers overall was autonomy. And that's the part that makes these people uncomfortable. Zoom out a little, and this connects to a bigger conversation about birth rates in general. The focus shifts towards timing, expectations, and what people are choosing to do with their lives before having kids. And then you notice something else. The most telling panic about these falling birth rates is that it isn't evenly spread amongst demographics. The loudest concern keeps circling around the fact that white birth rates are dropping the fastest. And once that's part of the conversation, everything else starts to line up a little differently. That's kind of when it stops sounding like a neutral conversation about population. And at that point, you're brushing right up against white supremacy. Because once you start paying attention to who people think should be having more children and when, the pattern comes into focus pretty quickly. And once you see that, the reaction makes a hell of a lot more sense.